Okay, so you know that feeling, right?
Yeah.
When you're staring at a recipe and it's like it's written in a different language, like one wrong move,
Yeah.
you're going to burn the whole kitchen down.
Right.
Well, today we are all about ditching that fear and discovering like how to actually make cooking joyful and creative and delicious.
Yeah. It's about so much more than just, like you said, following the instructions to a T. It's
Right.
about really getting into the heart of cooking, and the recipe is really just the beginning.
I love that. So we've got this stack of sources here talking about recipes and cooking tips and even how food connects us, across cultures and generations.
Hmm.
But first, let's like unpack this whole recipe thing.
Okay.
Like, why is a good recipe so crucial?
Well, I think a recipe is kind of like a roadmap, you know?
Okay.
It guides you, it keeps you on track,
Mm.
but it doesn't necessarily dictate every single step of the way. There's
Yeah.
room for you to explore, maybe take a couple detours, discover a scenic route.
I like that.
Yeah.
So it's less like classical music, more like jazz.
Oh,
You've got your base melody, your structure, but then you can riff. You can add your own
right.
flair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where the fun begins.
Okay, so give me an example.
Okay, so let's say you've got your grandma's famous marinara sauce, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic. It's a family heirloom. Everybody loves it.
Right.
But let's say you want to experiment a little.
Okay.
You could add a touch of smoked paprika
Mm.
for a little smoky depth, or maybe swap out the fresh basil for oregano.
Ooh, I like where this is
Yeah,
going.
make it your own.
Okay, so you've got those like cherished traditional recipes, like that marinara sauce passed down through families.
Exactly.
Like it's a culinary time capsule, right?
It is.
It's a direct link to like history and heritage.
Imagine biting into a bowl of Vietnamese pho
Ooh,
and tasting generations of street vendors who perfected that broth.
wow.
Or having a slice of your grandmother's apple pie,
Okay, stop. You're making me hungry.
made with a recipe that's decades old.
Okay, but then on the other side of the spectrum, we've got those modern recipes that are pushing boundaries.
Yes,
It's like fusion cuisine took the best of every culture and said, let's have a party in your mouth.
exactly. And it's not just about novelty either.
Okay.
Modern recipes really reflect, I think, a greater awareness of just like health and dietary needs.
Right.
We're seeing more plant-based alternatives, gluten-free options,
Mhm.
dishes that cater to specific allergies and intolerances.
Right.
And that just makes these diverse culinary experiences accessible to more people.
Everyone's invited to the flavor party.
Exactly.
I love it. But no matter the recipe, right? Traditional, modern, it sounds like the key takeaway is don't be afraid to improvise a little.
Absolutely. Once you get those basic techniques down, feel free to play around with it, add your own personal touch.
Yes. Make it your own.
Exactly. Make it your own culinary masterpiece.
Speaking of those essential techniques,
Yes.
this source is like a treasure trove of practical tips.
Okay, let's hear it.
Like, how do you actually tell if herbs are fresh? Asking for a friend who may or may not have used some questionable parsley once.
They really emphasize, understanding your ingredients,
Okay.
knowing how to store them, when to use them.
Right.
That's huge for getting the most flavor.
That makes sense.
For example, fresh herbs like basil and cilantro,
Mm-hmm.
you want to add those at the very end of cooking.
Okay.
That preserves their bright, delicate flavors.
So you don't cook out the flavor.
Exactly.
Got it.
But then on the other hand,
Okay.
heartier herbs like oregano, rosemary,
Mm-hmm.
those can benefit from a longer cooking time,
Okay.
allows those flavors to really infuse the dish.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's all about timing and understanding just the nuances of each ingredient.
So like every ingredient has its own personality
It really does.
and you've got to like treat it with respect.
Exactly.
And it's not just herbs.
Right.
The source like dives into this whole world of oils.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll admit, I used to be like, oil is oil. But apparently there's a whole science to it.
There is. Like, they talk about how extra virgin olive oil,
Good.
with that robust flavor,
Mm-hmm.
that's perfect for, like, finishing a dish or a zesty salad dressing.
Okay.
But then if you're, like, really cranking up the heat,
Yeah.
doing a stir fry or something,
Right.
you want an oil with the higher smoke point,
Okay.
like a grapeseed or avocado oil.
So it's like choosing the right tool for the job.
Exactly.
But the tool is delicious
Exactly.
and might make your kitchen smell amazing.
Yes.
Speaking of tools, though,
Oh,
they also get into kitchen equipment,
okay.
which I'm always curious about.
Mhm.
Like, is a fancy chef's knife
Okay.
Really life-changing.
A sharp knife, absolutely.
Right.
The source really emphasizes that. Like, a
Nice.
sharp knife is essential.
Okay.
And it's not just for, like, efficiency.
Yeah.
It's for safety, too.
Okay.
Because a dull knife,
Yeah.
you're more likely to, like, really have to put a lot of pressure on it,
Right.
which increases your chance of slipping.
Oh, that makes sense.
So,
I'm definitely guilty of neglecting my knives.
yeah.
But what about all the other gadgets, though?
Oh, yeah.
Like slow cook immersion blenders.
Sure.
Are those just trendy?
Right? Are they just trendy?
Or can they actually, like, up your cooking game?
They can be game changers.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Like a slow cooker,
Yes.
perfect for, those days when you want to come home to a warm, comforting meal
Yes.
without a lot of effort.
Okay.
And then an immersion blender,
Yeah.
that is a game changer.
Okay.
You can blend soup right in the pot.
Oh, nice.
No need to transfer it to a separate blender.
Fewer dishes. I'm listening.
Exactly. Fewer dishes.
But, beyond, like, the practical tips
Yeah.
and the fancy gadgets, this source really, like, I think, shines
Okay.
when it talks about the cultural significance of food.
Yes.
It's like we've talked about the how of cooking.
Right, the technique.
But what about the why?
Yes, exactly. Food is so much more than just fuel.
Right.
It's really a lens
Okay.
through which we can understand different cultures and traditions, even
Yeah.
like our own personal identities.
It's like that feeling you get when you share a meal with loved ones. It's not just about the food. It's like,
Yeah.
it's the connection
Absolutely.
experience.
It brings people together.
Yeah.
And the source talks about how, food is such a central role
Okay.
in celebrations and festivals all over the world.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Think about those special dishes that are prepared for Diwali or Eid or Christmas.
Right.
They evoke memories, connect us to our heritage.
Wow. Yeah, it's like you're eating a piece of your family history.
Exactly.
And it's not even limited to just our own cultures.
Right.
With global cuisine becoming more accessible,
Yeah.
we can, like, experience the world one bite at a time.
Exactly. You can explore different flavors,
Yeah.
ingredients, cooking techniques,
Right from your own kitchen.
and the comfort of your own home.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And with this, like, increased awareness of global cuisines and everything,
Yeah.
the source also talks about sustainability and ethical eating.
Right. Which is more important now than ever.
Yeah.
So like those things feel really important.
It's about recognizing the impact our food choices have,
Okay.
not only on our own health, but on the environment.
Right.
The livelihoods of farmers and food producers all around the world.
Yeah, it's really easy to get caught up in the latest food trends and all that.
It is.
But this source really made me stop and think.
Okay.
Like, where did my food come from? How was it produced?
Right. Are we
Well,
supporting?
like, these are questions we should all be asking.
Absolutely. We should be supporting local farmers, reducing food waste,
Right.
being mindful of our consumption.
Yeah.
These are all small but significant steps
Right.
that we can take toward a more sustainable and just food system.
It's about, like, making conscious choices that align with your values.
Exactly. And recognizing that every meal is an opportunity.
To vote for the kind of food future that we want to create.
It's almost like food can be a form of activism in a way.
Yeah, I like that.
But, okay, enough about the serious stuff.
Right.
This source got me thinking, like, what about the future of food?
Okay.
We've got all these cool kitchen gadgets now.
Yeah, we do.
What's next?
Well, it's fascinating to think about. Imagine a world where, like, your refrigerator
Okay.
not only stores your groceries,
Yeah.
but suggests recipes based on what you have.
Ooh, like a built-in meal planner.
Exactly.
I like it.
Or even, like, orders ingredients for you.
Oh, so you never run out of anything.
We've never run out of anything.
Okay, that's smart. That's smart.
Right.
But what about the cooking itself, though?
Okay.
Will we all be, like, rocking these AI-powered ovens?
Oh,
Take all the guesswork out of
Right.
temperatures and timing?
we might be. Imagine personalized flavor profiles
Okay.
that you can download directly to your oven.
What?
Yeah. So let's say you're craving your grandma's lasagna.
But just download the flavor profile,
Wow.
pop the pre-portioned ingredients into your smart oven,
Okay, hold on, stop.
and voila.
This is blowing my mind a little bit.
Right.
That's both incredibly cool and a little terrifying.
Right.
Like, are we still going to be using handwritten recipe cards?
Will we still have those passed down?
Or are we going to be downloading them from the internet?
It really makes you think.
It does. It's like a whole philosophical debate about the future of food.
It really is.
Wow, this deep dive has been quite the journey.
It has.
We really explored, like, everything.
The art of crafting a recipe.
Yeah.
The cultural significance.
The why behind the how.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's been a feast for thought.
It really has. So next time you're in the kitchen, remember, it's not just about following instructions.
It's about the experience.
Yes. Embrace the joy of cooking experiment. Have fun.
Exactly.
Celebrate those connections that happen over food.
Because at its heart, food is about connection.
It is. It connects us to our past, our cultures, each other.
To the planet.
Yes, and that is a recipe worth savoring.